and I learned that the Charter infiltrated MI6. I had to flush out here. At first I thought it was Yang, but I was so pleased it was you.
Kay's working for you?
Your hand's shaking.
You barely nicked me.
That was the point. Poison tipped. A little basic, I know, but it hits the spot.
Welcome to Blockbuster Buddies.
Blockbuster Broncos.
Blockbuster Boys.
Blockbuster Behemoths.
This show is actually and truly and will always be called Blockbuster Buffs.
Blockbuster Buffs.
Because we like blockbusters and we are buff. That's the reality.
Super buff dudes.
Just read it and weep, kids. Yeah, so welcome to the show. On this show, we talk about movies. I am the most moving watching of us. Joe is the most cinema qualified of us with his degree and bachelor's degree in movie sciences.
That's basically it. That's it. You nailed it.
He's got a batch in the sciences of the movies.
Kinda.
Something like that. Netflix, be quiet. All right. Yeah, so we talk about movies on the show. We talk about all different kinds of movies. And this season, we are talking about movies that are related to the Fast and the Furious. And when I related, I mean related.
Is it related because if you make it to the barbecue, then you're part of the family?
It's like Olive Garden. When you're there, you're family. And so we were like, hey, what's this family up to when they're not, gallivanting with their brothers and sisters,
Yes,
what are they doing?
They're brothers and sisters in Vin Diesel.
Yeah, exactly.
In Diesel.
Yeah. They're under the patriarch of Dominic Toretto. What is the fam doing,
Yep.
And so we try to figure that out every week. And by that I mean we look at, other movies that people have done. So far we've done, a lot. Fast and Furious 1, Pitch Black, Dungeons and Dragons, The Faculty, Fast 5, Bullet to the Head,
Four Brothers.
End of the Road, Four Brothers. Now we're looking at Giselle, or Gal Gadot, and we picked Heart of Stone because it's a recent release, and it is a very different character. We probably could have gone with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But I think I wanted to pick something that's pretty new.
And Wonder Woman's great, don't get me wrong, but it also is almost a little too, flat of a character, I feel like. A little too one-dimensional. This was a good choice for a more, complex character. And
This is a movie she has to carry.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking
Yeah.
for. We're looking for the movies that these actors, kind of have to carry. Jordana Brewster was hard because she doesn't really carry anything, but occasionally, you get the ensemble, and that's good too.
So today, with Heart of Stone, we're going to run you through a summary. We're going to do our Dunk or Defend, as
Yep.
per usual, and then our quarter-mile time.
That's the format for today's show. Heart of Stone is a Netflix movie that was recently released just this year, I believe in August 11th. It was released, starring Gal Gadot, 50 Shades of Grey, and a bunch of other people that you've probably not heard of.
One of the dude who plays the tech guy that's back in Charter, he's in a couple newer movies too.
Yeah, wasn't he in those Netflix zombie flicks?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. The art thief guy.
Yeah, with Dave Bautista.
They really play on the AI fear in this flick.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the same way that Mission Impossible did it, but in more of a positive way, which I thought was interesting. So,
Kind of.
yeah. Joe, you're here to summarize the movie.
I
I'm going to be honest, I did not watch this movie this week or this recently, and also we did forget a whole segment because I had seen it in August. I saw it early September. Early September. It wasn't August that I saw it. And I just was too recent, and it wasn't good enough for me to watch again. But I did skim through it, and I have a good understanding of this movie.
Good enough idea.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll rock the summary.
Sweet. So other than that, though, what else you watched this week?
I'm trying to think. What else did I watch this week? I've still been grinding that Lupin. I was telling you about that French thief. That show's been great. Other than that, What did I watch this week? Oh, Skip, you're up.
Skip Lou Pond. Love it.
Yep.
Lou's Pond.
Yeah.
No, I watched a couple things this week.
Okay.
I watched the first 20 minutes of Backdraft.
What
Looking
is
forward to finishing that.
What is Backdraft?
Backdraft is a movie my dad loved growing up. It's an old movie about firefighters starring Kurt Russell.
Nice.
And it's about how Backdraft is when you open a door or something and then, like, explosive gases are in the air or, like, flammable things are in the air.
Yeah.
But they don't have enough oxygen because it's an oxygen-deprived environment. So then that oxygen hits the fire and it, like, causes basically an explosion.
Whoa.
Which is a real phenomenon. I looked it up.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I did some other work for a bonus episode I've been working on. And I'm almost done. I think I just finished, actually. I think that's it.
Oh, boy.
I watched Transformers The Last Night. Please do not watch this movie. It is not worth it. And I did it for homework, but just for you guys, listeners, I watched this movie.
You don't have to.
That's an upcoming future project, but you shouldn't have to watch The Last Night. Just go ahead and skip that one. Go right on to Bumblebee. So yeah, that's what I watched this week.
Nice.
Nothing great. Oh yeah, a little bit of Outer Banks with Madison. That was good too.
Mm-hmm.
Outer Banks is fine.
Never watched it.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever watch it.
Yeah, that's fine. So anyway, let's get back to it. The real thing.
Sweet.
We're talking about family here. We're talking about Gal Gadot or Giselle. She has a strikingly little amount to do in any Fast and Furious movie.
True.
To the point that they like killed her character off in 6 at the end of 6.
Yep.
But she's Gal Gadot. She's famous. She's a big deal. She did get a handprint one time on her butt. So
Nice. That did happen in the movies.
Yep.
That was essential to the plot too.
it really was. They needed that handprint to get into the safe, Joe.
They did. How else would they have gotten it?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
So anyway, let's just get to it.
All right, here we go. Heart of Stone.
Heart of Stone, go.
Starts off on an Alp mountaintop casino
I loved this
resort,
beginning.
and Rachel Stone is there with her MI6 team. There's 4 of them, and they are there to capture a arms dealer. So Rachel Stone for MI6, she's a tech girl. She does not work in the field, but she and the other tech guy are in the van trying to hack into the system of the casino, and she is not close enough to their Wi-Fi. They lose connection, so she has to go into the field. The 2 other operatives are out and about, kind of in the casino. They're all dressed to the nines, looking good. So she goes in, and she goes over to one of the blackjack tables. She has no idea how to play blackjack, and she gets some chips from Parker, who is played by 50 Shades of Grey guy.
Janie Dornan.
Yeah, that guy.
50 Shades of Grey is probably what I'm going to call him now.
So she's sitting at this blackjack table. The head security guard, who she's trying to get close to, just comes to her because he thinks she's looking suspicious. He comes over to her. She's looking at her phone. He's like, "What you doing over there? You cheating?" And she's like, "No, I've never played. I'm just looking up the rules."
I
He's
roll.
Like, okay, let me help you out here a little bit. And then she wins big that hand.
All right, so let's be real, though. Your excuses suck. That's my feelings about that excuse you came up with.
So from there, they're able to hack into the system. This arms dealer shows up. He goes downstairs to an even more high profile. You got to be a VIP to get down there. And 50 Shades of Grey and the other operative Yang sneak down there, and they find out that this arms dealer and the other people down here are betting on real life kills. So they're watching real life missions of random, like SEAL Team 6. Somehow they can hack into their video feed, and they're watching them kill people. So they're like betting on the kill count, which is pretty brutal.
It's pretty upsetting.
Yeah.
And you find this out when the guy's like, "Oh, that's SEAL Team 6," which I'm like, "How do you know that? Was this mission published? Like, what are you talking about?" But yeah, it was pretty odd. It's like very rich, like overly rich. They're trying to find an arms dealer. Did you mention that?
I did.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah. But apparently he never shows his face, and so this is the first time he's out and about, which is why it's so important. But I loved this beginning scene, to be honest. I loved most of this. I loved the first half of this movie, actually. I mean, and I actually did buy I liked the poker thing. I know I I put a little clip about how it sucks, but it doesn't actually. I think it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was clever.
Yeah.
So from there, Yang has this poison file. She goes over, tries to walk behind the arms dealer, but one of his bodyguards catches her first, notices it. She stabs him with it. He passes out, but then a big old fight ensues. So they're fighting, shooting their way out of it. The arms dealer breaks out. Parker tracks him down, goes through one of the tunnels, kills a couple of his bodyguards, and then drags him to the gondola. At this point as well, there is a third party that has broken into the MI6 team's comms. Someone at the party.
Yeah.
And she basically has compromised their comms.
She tipped her glass to Gal Gadot, I think.
She did tip her glass. Yep. And then she disappears. Gal Gadot goes out with Yang. They're trying to chase down Parker and the arms dealer to the gondola, but they get in the gondola first, and it's heading down to the bottom of the mountain. Gadot pretends to have like a broken ankle or something, or just like sprained ankle or something, and kind of trips over. So Yang bounces off with Bailey, their other team member, and they start driving down the mountain in this like cool off-road vehicle. But then Rachel Stone pulls out another set of like little like comm things she puts next to her ear, and this whole 3D grid pops up of how the mountain is shaped and had like the best route for her to get down. So then we get introduced to what she is actually part of, which is the Charter. It is a underground, basically like all the operatives from different services around the world, MI6, CIA, blah, blah, blah.
It's like the Kingsman. It's
Yeah.
a secret service.
It's a secret service. It's a secret
tied
service.
to a government.
Yeah. So people that have basically defected because their governments were inefficient and they actually wanted to do some good. So the Charter was created for that, and they have this really high-tech machine called the Heart. And the Heart is able to use every possible camera, or from phones, from just like security cameras, everything around.
It's God's eye.
It's God's eye.
Plus AI.
Yeah. Plus AI, so it can basically predict the outcomes of every situation. So Gadot starts...
Yeah, and it gives like a cool little probability too. It's not like God. It just is like you have an 80% chance of success with this. Like Han Solo would be real pissed about this thing. It's always telling him the odds. To go this way, and that is going to increase the chances of success on this. Like it's kind of fun to watch her. Like she goes down the mountain, and she's like skiing down for a while, and then she gets to like a cliff and jumps off and has a parachute. Or she take a parachute?
Yeah, there's a few guys up there paragliding.
Yeah,
and so she just like skis down, grabs it, runs off with it, starts paragliding down the mountain.
Yeah, and it's dope. And the whole time she's got Den of Thieves guy in her ear. What's that guy's name? The guy who does
he's one of the, I forget, it's something of hearts. It's like the Jack of Hearts, I think.
Yeah, and he runs the AI.
Yeah.
Basically. And so the whole time he's just telling her like, oh yeah, Jack of Hearts by Matthias Schweighofer. I don't know. Some German dude.
Yep.
But yeah, so he's just like reading in her ear, basically like, all right, there's guys who are going to intercept the team at the base of the mountain. They're not ready for it. They're going to get taken out. They have a 98% chance of getting killed. She starts going down the mountain. They're like odds of living go up to like 80%, and then like 60%, and then she's paragliding down the mountain. She gets snagged, and then they go like back down. They get worse.
Yep. So from there, she paraglides down, but it starts flattening out too much. She's running through trees. She has to go over to another part and jump on a dude's ski bike. She ski bikes down to the bottom. Meanwhile, Parker is in the gondola fighting this arms dealer. Basically, the arms dealer starts trying to take him down, but he just can't. The arms dealer's bodyguards show up at the bottom. One of them has a sniper sniper rifle. He's trailed on Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Gadot gets down there just in time to fight the squad. She kills them all, takes them out, and then Parker shows up in the gondola. He comes out, and at the same time, Yang and Bailey show up, and Bailey's all confused because that team was there, and now they've just disappeared. But Gadot can't let them know that she did it because that would give away her cover of being in the charter.
Right.
So
She's not a field agent, as Joe said earlier, but
Right.
it's an important note.
So Parker steps out of the gondola, talks to the crew for a sec, and then goes back in. The arms dealer walks out with a foaming mouth, and apparently he took cyanide, so he killed himself. Whatever information he may have had dies with him.
Because the chemist does all the classics. We do learn that later.
Shh, don't tell him that.
Oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret.
Who's he? It could be the
That's true,
arms
you're
dealer.
right. Oh,
you know?
boy.
It could be Parker. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, right.
I kind of did a little
Kinda
bit already. Yeah.
Whatever. You guys didn't hear anything. Although I guess our intro scene spoiled it anyway. It doesn't matter.
A little bit, yeah. Just whenever the show needs a little more energy, just throw that out there.
All right.
We're
so-
starting to get too
too detailed.
into our own, like, oh well, we should say this, shouldn't say this.
Yeah, you're right.
Just a little bit of oomph.
They head back to headquarters.
No,
Yeah.
no.
What?
What happens is Stone is out there, and she's like, they're like, oh, we're gonna come up and pick you up, and then what's his bucket is like, oh, I don't know how we're gonna get you up there, and it like shows all of these possible pathways, and they're all like take way too long. And part of it that frustrated me is they don't tell us how
Right.
that happened.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, in one sense, good cut. Like we don't need to see her go back up the mountain. The other thing is, why didn't you just put a line in that says, I could just take the gondola? Because obviously she could just take the gondola. They're gone.
That's true, but the gondola would be too slow, and once it got they would get back up there before the gondola probably.
No way, man. They drove like Hellcats down the mountain in this little thing. Like they're gonna have to take a road back.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, I just thought it was a little bit of like a all right,
Cop
movie.
out.
Come
Yeah.
on now.
We're not gonna show them.
And then it just cuts to black and they're back
That's the
at
credits.
Yeah.
So they're back at headquarters. Their boss is pissed that the arms dealer is dead and that they screwed up the mission a little bit and that Stone went into the field. Anyway, they get a bunch of paperwork.
Looks like fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a lot of fun.
It looks like a bunch of fun. Stone goes to the charter headquarters, and from there,
HQ, as I've affectionately termed it.
HQ. She gets basically we get as viewers a rundown on how charter operates. You have the whole hierarchy of the King of Hearts. Her name is Nomad, and Nomad is basically like giving Stone directions. And then she also talks to the Jack of Hearts a little bit there. Anyway, they figure out that the person who hacked into their comms, her name is Kaya, and she is a Indian girl that is basically just like a tech wizard. Figured out how to hack in their comms, whatever. She's
It's a classic new movie trope of super hacker. Super hacker girl. I believe it was coined originally by the film Hackers from the early 90s.
Sounds right. Checks out. So they tip off MI6. They tip off her team that this girl is in Lisbon. So they track her down to Lisbon. They are there hanging out in their like hotel room, whatever apartment area, and they're having like a little dance party. They're just trying to have some fun.
I made a huge mistake. It's a manic pixie hacker.
Oh.
I'm sorry,
you
that was
made
a
that up.
mistake. That was a huge mistake. I should have seen that earlier, and that's on me, guys.
I don't know if she's a manic pixie hacker.
I'm
I
just
get
talking
your
about the
point.
trope, though.
Yeah,
There
I
is
get
the trope. She doesn't
Yeah.
fit the trope perfectly, but I thought it was funny, so I was like, oh, I should say it
That's pretty good.
because this is a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. I'll shut up.
Yeah, no.
I'll never correct you again.
I do that too much. Joe. The funny part about that bit is that Joe doesn't like it.
No, I love it. It's my favorite.
All right, what happens? They're dancing. Yeah, they're trying to loosen
They're
up.
dancing. They're loosening up. Then bing, bang, boom. Bunch of grenades come in. They get stunned. a kill squad shows up, and they're trying to take out the MI6 team.
We did hand wave a little bit of just like character dynamics.
Yeah.
It does seem like Parker likes Stone, but
True.
she's
And
very
Bailey.
aloof.
Bailey likes
Yeah.
them too.
And she's very aloof. That's it.
Yeah.
We don't need to know anything
There's
else
a bit
about
of
that.
bit of chumness between the squad. You
Yeah.
get some of that. While she's there, she does have the heart talking to her, the dude, Jack, telling her that she needs to get out of there. The odds of them dying are very high. She needs to leave, and
Yeah, and if she succeeds, her cover's blown. So
yeah, it's a lose-lose. So she jumps out the window onto a little patio. She's waiting there. Her team inside is getting shot up. They're not doing well. They look like they're gonna die. And then her heart tells her
she's developed attachment.
she's got a conscience, and she's like, I can't abandon him. I can't leave him alone. So she jumps back in. She starts kicking ass, takes down these dudes, does some great moves, great hand-to-hand combat, does some good shooting, and basically defends her whole team. Her team's like looks at her afterwards. They're like, who the hell are you? Where'd you come from? So they jump in a car, start driving through town. They're getting chased through town. They're trying to lose their tail. At one point, she swerves around this roundabout, and the car's chasing her, run into these bunkers and fly off and flip over, and they get away.
They made a comment about the other tech guy typically drives. His name is
Bailey.
No, Bailey was the. Oh yeah, it is Bailey.
Mhm.
Huh. Okay, yeah, he typically drives. They made a comment, like a negative comment about his driving on the way to this place, and then she takes over. She takes the wheel. She's like, "I got it," and he's like, "Are you sure?" And then she just like shows him up.
So after they lose,
Girls rule, boys drool. That's the point.
big time. After they lose the tail too, he's like, well, you can fight and you can drive. Okay. So they go over, they kind of abandon the car, the van, and they're hanging out around this fountain. And her team is like, okay, time to do some explaining. Who are you? How are you this good at fighting and driving? Like, what's the situation? And then
Bailey calls it.
Well, Parker calls it. He's like, well, Bailey's like,
He's been talking about the charter for a long time.
yeah. And they're like, you're actually part of the charter. And she kind of gives a little bit of a backstory. But then, bang, bang,
Oh, I should have building tension ready.
Parker shoots Yang and Bailey
Oh, what?
out of the blue. And you're like, what? Parker, what are you doing? And then he and Stone get in a big old fist fight, whip out some knives. Parker's able to get a cut on her, and she starts losing the fight because Parker has those blade poisoned.
It's poisoned, tipped. Sorry, these sound effects are distraction.
So they have their little chat. Parker's like, I've been looking for you for years. I was trying to figure out if it was you or Yang. Then she passes out. He puts a tracker in her. Her team picks her up, and she goes back to Charter. HQ. When she gets to Charter, they're trying to bring her back to health. She knows the tracker's in her, but she's too unconscious to really do anything about it. When she finally does get consciousness, she rolls off her little cot, whatever, and digs the tracker out of herself, smashes it, but it's maybe too late. From here, Nomad, the King of Hearts, basically sidelines her. She has compromised the mission as well as her undercover status, and tells her to go home, get some rest.
She's been benched.
She's been benched.
Turn in your badge and gun.
Exactly. So from there, Kaya, the Indian
Yep.
girl hacker, and Parker meet up. They are trying to.
Is this when she hacks into Kaya's computer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Stone.
They have like a little bit of a text, like tete-a-tete. Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
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 Like you're not strong enough to hack me. I'm gonna put a picture of you on your own screen. Oh, what? I tagged your. It's crazy.
Gotcha.
So, she's like on a bus. It's a whole thing. But then, then more plot, like Joe's talking about.
Yeah, please fill in the details. Plot heavy over here.
Yeah.
So Kaya and Parker now use a helicopter to fly up to the blimp, which is carrying the heart. The heart is kept in this just floating in the outer atmosphere blimp, and it's usually too high up to access, but Kaya is able to hack into the system.
They use that distraction of them having the tracker in HQ or HQ. My mistake. But yeah, they use that to be able to bring it down to breathable atmosphere levels.
Yep. So Kaya and Parker take a helicopter up. They get up to the blimp, and before they take off, Stone had hacked into Kaya's computer and figured out what her plan was. And even since she's been sidelined, she gets some friend who
calls in a favor.
Yeah, calls in a favor with some friend that has a plane. That's the other trope.
Yeah. Every spy person has got a buddy with a plane. It's just they're just waiting, like they're just sitting there drinking beers, waiting to be called by their little spy friends to be like, "Hey, could you fly me here?"
Sure.
Yeah,
you got it.
It's true. It's another. I mean, I love these tropes. That's one of my favorite ones, actually. That's in like The Incredibles. Like every secret agent has a friend with a plane that they can get around.
They've just done too many missions to not make a friend with a plane.
Exactly. Extraction, friend with a plane. Sorry. Anyway, this is not the movie cast. This is Heart of Stone cast.
So from there, Stone takes her friend's plane while her friend takes her up.
Yeah.
She goes up at the same time that Kaya and Parker are landing on the blimp, and Nomad back at the heart is figuring out that this is going on. There are no other agents in the area. Stone is up there, and she squirrel dives out of the back of this plane, falling to the blimp. And by using the eye from the heart, whatever, Nomad and Jack of Hearts can see that there's somebody there, squirrel diving in. They look a little closer, and they're like, "Is that Stone?" You better believe it is.
It's a little late on that one. It is Stone, guys. It's Stone. She's there. She's going to save the day. She's squirrel suiting in. Does she land on the blimp, or does she parachute onto the blimp?
Oh, no. She goes underneath. She misses it at first. She misses the blimp, goes underneath, but then like is able to catch an updraft to go up and over the front, and basically like crash land on top.
That's pretty dope.
It is super dope.
It's not plausible,
not
but
at
it
all.
is super dope. I love it. I'm here for it.
It's very Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
So she gets into the blimp. She and Parker get in a big old fist fight. At the same time, Kaya is stealing the heart out of whatever machine it's in.
How's this organization going to operate? Sans heart.
Yeah.
I do not know.
When Kaya gets the heart out, all the AI goes down back at HQ. They're like, well,
thank you.
Everything is in Stone's hands now. Stone and Parker fight it out. Parker throws her off the side of a ledge. Her parachute saves her, but it tears at the same time, so she has no way of getting off the blimp. Parker and Kaya go back up top, get in their helicopter. Stone chases them out. She realizes she has no way down from here, so she runs and chases. She's able to jump right off the edge of the blimp as it's blowing up and catch the bottom of the rope that they're climbing up. She climbs up to Kaya, kind of tussles with her for a sec up there, but then cuts the rope up above her. So Kaya and Stone are free falling thousands of feet in the air. They get in a little fight, but then Kaya gets knocked out. Stone catches her, grabs her, wraps up, pulls her chute, and they fall into the Senegal desert. From there, they have to trek their way out. They have a little chat while they're in the desert. Stone's like, "Why are you doing this? You silly goose.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are you doing?" And Kaya's like,
"You've got so much talent.
I'm trying to make the world a better place."
Oh, gosh. Everyone's trying to make the world a better place. Just stop, guys. The world's fine. I'm just joking. 100% joking, guys. Just so you're aware. But it is funny how in every movie it's like you
Even
got to have the
bad
villain
guys, the villains are
trying to make the world
yeah.
a better place, which does make for a better villain. But typically
does.
they have a more complicated plan than just I'm trying to make the world a better place. But she's like a sub-villain, which makes sense.
True.
But then some random lady just picks him up in the desert.
Yeah, this
You're
lady
like-
just comes out of nowhere in her little weird truck thing.
And Stone's like, I got it. I'm going to take this guy's car. And then this like local lady's like, what the heck are y'all doing out here? I don't know. I don't remember if it's subbed and she's speaking her own language, but that's for sure the vibe. It's just like,
she's like speaking French.
yeah, and she's just like, what are y'all up to out here? Just get in the car. Let's go. Like she's just like, you guys are crazy. You shouldn't be out here. I'm gonna save you. And it seems like she's a nice lady.
Yeah, she does.
It does seem suspicious though.
Yeah, it's weird. So they drive back into this lady's town, just Podunk town, east of the coast, or on the coast of Senegal. Then, bam! A shot fires through the back of the vehicle. Stone takes off running. She's getting chased away. Kaya and the old lady are just chilling. Parker has showed up with a bunch of goons. They chase
Goon Squad.
They chase Stone through the fields. Stone reaches the coast. She jumps off a cliff and lands in the water. Meanwhile, Parker walks over to the lady, and she's like, I'll take my money now. And he's like, nope. Bang. Dead.
Oh, Parker.
Shoots her right in front of Kaya. So now, at this point, Kaya is starting to get an idea of like, all right, Parker is not a good dude.
Stone's actually pretty chill.
Yeah.
Parker just murdered a lady.
Yep.
When he could have just paid her a little bit of money.
Yeah. And it would have been fine.
Like, they clearly have money. I mean, she's not asking for a lot. Maybe a lot for her, but
Yeah.
I mean, for him, no, it's not a lot.
Stone wakes up on a beach, and down the beach side walks this random lady, another stranger, walks over. She's like, been a long time, 9. Stone's like, good to see you, 6.
Ooh.
It's the 6 of hearts. Shows up, saves her. Meanwhile, Kaya and Parker fly over to Iceland. Jack and Nomad back at their new HQ.
They go to a different HQ for some reason.
Well, because the old one got compromised.
Right.
So they're at a new HQ, underground bunker. They're trying to do what they can to help out Stone. They figure out that Parker's going to Iceland, so they give him a tip-off where they're headed. Oh, Stone had placed a tracker on Kaya, too.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that. So they follow the tracker to Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
When they get there, one of the other squads, the clubs, shows up, and the king of clubs is there. He goes in with his squad to track down Kaya in this building. They're apparently at like the University of whatever.
Of Phoenix.
Yeah,
Reykjavik. I don't know if they're in Reykjavik.
Yeah,
It's something
whatever
like that.
the Icelandic word is.
Iceland.
Yeah, the University of Iceland.
Yeah, University of Sigur Rós.
The whole hit team shows up.
And Stone is there.
Stone gets there right after the team. So
Yeah.
they've gone into this underground area where the tracker is. Stone shows up, but as she shows up, she gets a phone call from Kaya.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Kaya has seen what Parker has done, having the heart. He
has the heart for a minute,
Yeah.
and he is already like, and we're going to kill every member of the charter.
Yeah.
And she's like, that is not what we talked about doing. And he's like, yeah, but we're going to do that, obviously, and then we're just going to kill anyone who's kind of a problem. And she's like, oh, no. This is not what I had intended when I was talking about making the world a better place.
So Kaya calls Stone. She's gained a conscience, and she's like, all right, I have placed a disinhibitor on the heart that is only coded to me, so I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna give you my location. You get here and help me fight Parker.
Save me, Obi-Wan. You're my
Yeah.
only hope.
Exactly. But
Wait.
right after she makes the call, boom.
Boom.
The entire building blows up and collapses on the entire club's team, and it blows Stone away. She's in a van. The van rolls. The dude that was in there with her is dead, and she's out of luck. But she knows that Kaya might be telling the truth. So she calls Nomad, tells Nomad that this is their only chance. Nomad tells her that she has 50 minutes to get there and take Parker down, or else they're going to die inside the bunker because the heart has shut down, has locked them into the bunker and shut down the air filtration system. So they are going to run out of air. So the countdown has begun.
58 minutes.
Yeah. So Stone has to hop on a motorcycle, drive across the city, wherever, through the countryside. She gets in a fight with the other like secondhand man behind Parker. He's some assassin dude. They get in a fight on the motorcycles. Stone shows up to this other lab. She sneaks in, sees Kaya, sees Parker.
Kaya left the back door open for her.
Yeah, she left the back door open. She told her that too.
It's like a coding term, but also like a real thing that exists in the world.
Kaya brings Parker into the little area where the heart is. Then Stone pops out. Parker and her get in a big old fight. Kaya kind of hops in, tries to help where she can. It doesn't look great for them for a little bit, but they're able to take Parker down. Stone shoots him.
It's about that climactic. As they fight for a little bit. It seems like it's a problem. I thought it was going to be like, oh, through the power of teamwork, but it's kind of not.
It kind of was. That's what Stone, when she's like, oh, I'll have one thing you'll never have. Back up.
Oh, yeah, and then she hits him in the back with something.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yep.
So it is through the power of teamwork.
It is.
Yeah, because...
Power Rangers, unite!
The most powerful element of all, heart. What's that show? Where they have the rings, and then they, like, link the rings together?
It's,
Oh, my gosh. I'll look that up. You tell more of the plot.
Oh, jeez. The Universe? Mr. Universe? No. Anyway, they fight Parker, kill him. Stone shoots him a couple times. He has some words with her as he's dying. He's like, I'll see you in the next life. And she's like, okay, see you there. And it was kind of like weirdly intimate after like the big old fight. You're like, okay, that's interesting. But then they're able to get the heart, put it back online for good. They're able to save the whole Hearts team in the underground bunker, get them some air. From there, Kaya gets put in prison, but she is willing to be in prison because of her deeds, and she recognizes that she has to face her consequences. Stone shows up, and she's like, I've made a deal. You can be part of my team.
It's Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. I was
he
like,
controls the power of heart.
Yeah, Mr. Universe. I was close.
But yeah, so she's at jail. She's like, all right, well, this is how it is. And then Stone's like, what does she say? I don't want to butcher it.
She's like, I said I'll continue to work for the charter, but under two conditions. And one condition is that they don't use the heart.
Oh, that she gets to, like, she doesn't have to follow what the heart says.
Right.
Yeah.
She can, yeah.
So, like, if she wants to save her team, she can do it without having to get in trouble for it.
Yep. And the other condition is that Kaya works with her, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She gets a teammate.
Yeah. So Kaya joins the team.
And then they go out on a job.
Yep. Ends with them on a mission.
Jack is there, right?
Yep.
Jack and Kaya and her.
Yep. Bing, bang, boom. There you go.
It.
That's Heart of Stone,
That's it.
folks.
I like Snap.
I like Stone.
This one. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so that was the movie.
Very action.
Very action heavy.
Action heavy, which is great.
It was great.
Gal
There
Gadot
was a lot of
kicked a lot of butt.
Yeah, there was a lot of pros and cons to the movie, and I think we'll get into those in this next segment that I like to call Dunk or Defend.
Dunk or Defend.
Yeah, Dunk or Defend. This is the part of the show where Joe and I do not know what the other person is going to do, and we count down and we say we're going to either dunk or defend. We're probably each going to share a little dunk, a little defense, but generally we're going to go with, like, what we decide to do is going to be what the primary feeling about the movie is. And this is also judging it on how well does it do what it's trying to do.
Right. It's less based off of how we felt about the movie, like not as much how much we enjoyed it, but more so, did the movie achieve its goal within the universe that it exists?
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Defend.
Yeah, I'm gonna dunk on this movie.
You go first.
I will go first. I tried to conceal it because there was definitely a fair amount of joy that I had during the first parts of this movie. But it's clear they're trying to set Gal Gadot up as James Bond, and she
Slash
clearly
Ethan
has been taking acting classes. She's still got a ways to go, but she's been doing better, and that's exciting. And she did well. You know, there's some roles she does really well in, but if she has to stretch much, I find that some of her behavior isn't like very compelling. And I did see that with this movie. I saw moments where I was like, I totally buy this, and I saw moments where I was like, all right, come on, you're losing me a little bit here. But particularly, it was that there were some like kind of ridiculous plot holes, like the fact that she's with Parker the whole time, and the heart doesn't pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. Even though they have facial recognition of like various things, like it's supposed to be this crazy supercomputer that can do all these things. Not to mention,
I don't know,
it's supposed to be on. Like that's the whole point, is that it's not supposed to be hackable. But then they get that thing in there, and it creates like a back door that like they are able to hack when they want to bring the ship down. Which is like the supercomputer, if it can really predict everything as well as it has been predicting, like that didn't feel real to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't like they glossed over the. I didn't like that they just like glossed over the way she got back up the mountain at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I got kind of bored with her just like going toe to toe with Jamie Dornan. I think like it's not totally unbelievable that she could beat him, but it's a little difficult to believe considering that he's also incredibly well trained. Like when well trained women just take out mobs of men, I'm like, that makes sense. But when like well-trained women take out well-trained men with 40 pounds on them, like it's just tough to beat. Like it's just tough to take that seriously.
Well, yeah, but she isn't able to the first time they fight is part of that too.
No, she is. She takes him down whole cloth.
Not in the blimp.
Oh, that's true.
In the blimp fight,
it kind of goes back and forth.
It goes back and forth, but he ends up winning that fight.
Okay.
And in the end, she has to have Kaya's help.
That does help a little bit.
Yeah.
The other thing was the villain sucked. I thought he was all right, but then when he killed the lady in the town, that was what got it to dunk territory. Because it's like not only like this guy is like just showing like he's showing his cards that he's evil and like doesn't actually have a good plan. Like his plan once he gets the heart is like I'm gonna kill the charter. But he doesn't have like a world domination plan. He doesn't have like a let's take out all these corrupt governments plan. But that's kind of how they set it up the whole time. And so that really didn't land for me. And it made me when he got it and just started like basically just pushed Kaya away by being wildly evil very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, oh come on, man. Like you have to know people a little bit, and
not doing enough to get Kaya on your side.
Yeah, it's just not strong villain territory. And then the other dunk that I have, this is more of a personal thing, and it's probably crass to talk about, but I think that it would have been fitting for Gal Gadot to bulk up for this role, and she is just way skinny. Like, skinnier than she's ever been. Like, she bulked up a little bit for Wonder Woman, and it was great. But she's just, like, she is just skin and bones, man.
She looked pretty buff in the desert scene.
In the desert scene, she looks... I mean, you can see her shoulders, like protruding, like, but not her shoulder muscles. Like, you can see her, like, clavicle. And I was just like, dude, you got to gain some weight, man. Like, you need to put on, like, 5 to 10 pounds of fat and like 15 pounds of muscle. Like if you're going to be believable as James Bond spy, like it's not even just it's like if we had Michael Cera as our James Bond spy, or even like, Harry Potter as our James Bond spy before he's been beefed up, like it would be tough. Like you'd be like, dude, this guy needs to be beefier. And like even our Pats going to be Batman, like he put on a ton of weight. because you need to be beefier. And a girl's not gonna have to have to be as beefy, but like if you look at Scarlett Johansson, like she doesn't look skinny. She looks fit and strong. And I think that's something that was kind of overlooked. And I think even Gal Gadot in Wonder Woman looked strong. And I think here she just I don't know what's going on. She just doesn't. So that was a bummer for me. Overall, I thought this movie was kind of fun. I liked some of the action. I thought that the idea of the heart was really interesting. I thought the idea of that the organization was also very interesting. Like I liked their code names, and I liked the idea of like a secret government program. But I've been dunking a lot lately. I defended Four Brothers.
Out for the kill.
Yeah. What'd you say?
You're out for the kill.
Yeah, I don't know. This movie. I'm sick of Netflix making subpar movies, so I think I'm a little
They're
bitter
just
about
cranking
it.
them out because they can make money, bro.
Yep. But so that's where I'm at. I don't think it accomplished what it was trying to do. I think it was trying to make a new Ethan Hunt or a new James Bond, and she just doesn't have. And not just because of the performance. Like the performance was good. I think she did a good job, but I think mostly because of the writing. Like, it doesn't quite work.
Okay. Shaq just
Joe.
went in for the dunk.
Yeah, dunked on it.
Shaquille O'Hurt.
Yep.
All right, here's my defense. My defense is that despite it being a bit of a retelling of Ethan Hunt or James Bond, I think it was great that it was a woman in the lead role. That is kind of what they were going for, was trying to redefine the genre with a woman in the lead spy role. And I thought Gal Gadot was great for that. I think she did a good job. She did a good job convincing her team that she was not a part of the charter. Like, she did a good job being undercover, as well as Parker did a really good job of making it seem like he was a good guy at first, too. Like, he did a really good job of hiding his intentions. When he shot Yang and Bailey, I was shocked.
I was shocked.
I
That's
was
true.
definitely
They did a good
taken
job
off
with that.
guard. That was totally unexpected to me. I was like, what the heck?
I think the brilliant writing there is, like, I say brilliant about this movie. I think the brilliant part of this, like, that reveal is that he's clearly scoping her out because he thinks she's part of the charter, but the sexual tension is there, and the like underlying theme of she can't have connections is there from the charter. And so you really do believe, like, he likes her and she's trying to, like, keep a healthy distance. And so it, like, really really hides the fact that he's also the bad guy.
Yeah. So I appreciated that.
That was good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that was a good twist. I loved a lot of the action. I love the falling scene. Any free falling scene
That was sick.
is just always so badass.
That first,
they
her going down
crushed
the
that
mountain was
one.
sick.
And, like, yeah, going down the mountain was dope, too. Right off the bat, that was a great fight scene. The heart was a very cool idea. I will say that is kind of a dunk of mine, is just how just how hot topic that is these days. You've got Mission Impossible that had that. You've got the Citadel TV show. Have you watched Citadel at all?
Yeah, no.
Citadel is like exactly that.
Okay.
Storyline is just having this AI god eye that is supposed to be able to help them out a ton, but then can get hacked.
Fast franchise did it first.
Yes, yeah, same with Fast, right. So it's just kind of a hot topic thing right now. So that was a little like, okay, here we go. We get another AI.
Oh, are we in a
story.
multiverse too?
Yeah.
Cool.
Not yet. Maybe the next one.
Yeah. It's like, come on.
But overall, my defense is that I think for a lead female action movie with good enough plot and fun action, it passed the bar for what it was trying to do.
All right. I respect that. I would give that level of a movie I didn't super love. I would give that level of past the bar defense to, like, Black Widow, but I wouldn't to this one. which a lot of people
haven't
didn't
even-
like Black Widow.
I haven't even watched Black Widow.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say.
But I think that they did the female lead better. I think. But I mean, it's something you got to figure out, and I do like that. I think the big problem is they made her just like coded as like a man almost through all the fight scenes until the very last one. And so like you get like intensity, and then it like kind of drops off a little bit. But I don't know. That's how I felt. I felt it was fairly anticlimactic.
I mean, we definitely knew what was going to happen. Like
Yeah.
it is very predictable, but
But her catching that blimp was dope.
yeah, like I guess it was predictable in the second half.
Mhm.
Like that twist with Parker was unexpected, but the rest of the
Yeah.
how everything's going to go down, you're like, okay, she's going to succeed at getting the heart back somehow.
I see why you did. I respect the opinion. It lost me after. Let's just go to the next segment. Actually,
You want to do the quarter mile?
mile time. I think we've wrung this dry.
All right.
So, what is the quarter mile time, Joe?
Quarter mile time is our ranking based off of this season's family, based off of Fast 1. If your quarter mile time is 10 seconds, that is great. Amazing.
Standard for a car that Dom's willing to take from you in a pink slave race.
It's very good. So
Yeah.
10 seconds is great, outstanding even. 20 seconds is very poor. 10 minutes is absolute trash.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah, so I loved this movie until they got off the blimp, and then it just lost me progressively. And loved, I mean, I saw the flaws, but I was just like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, having fun with it.
Yep, and then, yeah, when they got off the blimp, it really seemed to take a nosedive for me. I think mostly just Jamie Dornan as, like, serious straight man, like, quiet is cool, but, like, as brooding villain, he's not charismatic enough to carry that. If I really actually go as far as I can, down this road to like overlook as much as I can, I think those are the critical things for me. Like he just doesn't quite carry it. I think when we start to see him as a villain, and so for that reason, I'm gonna give it 17. Not my
Dang.
lowest score, but I tried a couple times to watch it again this week, and it like bothered me.
Wow. There you go. Okay. I'll give it a I'm going to give it a 15.
15,
Yeah. I'm gonna give it
right down the
15.
middle.
Right down the middle.
Good, not great.
Yeah, good, not great. I enjoyed watching it a lot. I enjoyed a lot of the action. Mostly the action is what I enjoyed. I thought it was very fun to watch Gal Gadot kick ass.
Mm-hmm.
I liked some of the character interactions. There was some good dialogue. I liked Jamie Dornan being able to have his actual accent, his Irish accent. That's pretty dope. The twist was good.
Twist was good.
Twist helped me out, and yeah,
All right.
I'd watch it again in a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't if it came on. I'm not saying I would never watch it again if it was on or if it was like I'm sick or something. I bet I could find something better. But just watching it this quickly, I was like, oh, I can't. It's too much. But yeah, it was good. Well, I mean, for you it was good. For me, it was like mid to not great.
Yeah, freaking dunk master over here.
I'm sorry, man. I did not
going
care for this
hard
movie.
tonight.
I didn't care for it. And
Gal Gadot,
by the
I love you.
that's fair. Gal Gadot is very pretty.
Beautiful, in fact.
That is it for the show, correct?
Yeah, I think that's about
We've
all
solved it.
That's all we got.
Thank you so much for listening to Blockbuster Buffs. This is produced by the All Days Off network of podcasts. Feel free to listen to our other shows right now. We just have All Days Off, so those are both available on Apple and Spotify. Stick with us. Share with your friends. Follow us on Instagram. We'll probably get TikToks and stuff going soon as well if we don't already have them by the time this is released. Thank you so much.
See you next week.
See ya.